Hello from gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and this video is about one of my top 5 orchids. It's the fantastic South African Disa, and this one is called Disa uniflora Unifoam Firebird. I think you can see why. It's the 23rd of June today, and we're out in the greenhouse in the shaded section to see what is in flower at the moment. And doesn't it beckon to you like a gorgeous orange sun across the greenhouse? This is a uniflora Disa, and the reason why I like the uniflora types is because they produce really big flowers. Look at my hand. That is one enormous flower. Now, yeah, last year I experimented growing some of the other types, Douentza and I can't remember the other species off the top of my head, but the flowers were much smaller and less impressive. So I'm back to loving the uniflora again, and this one is one called Unifoam Firebird. Firebird is the cultivar. I've had it for a few years and it does brilliantly for me. Now, as you can see, there's a second bud coming, but usually these uniflora ones tend to have, well, one flower. I guess it's in the name. And I have a second one in bud and one of the smaller Disas in bud at the back there. Disas are amazing orchids that come from South Africa, and they're bog orchids, which means that they grow on top of Table Mountain, maybe in South Africa, don't quote me on that, but in an environment that is wet. And if we look down here, you can see that I actually have these orchids sitting in water, in rainwater the whole time. So for me, that makes them quite an easy orchid to manage. You just put them in the water and you don't have to worry about watering again. Now, some people like to emulate the situation that this orchid might have in its natural habitat, and apparently it likes running water over its roots, fresh running water. So, you know, they replenish the water on a daily basis, but I'm much lazier than that. What I do is that when I water, I take the watering can and I just pour the water from the top there. Can you see that? And it trickles down and fills up the tray. Disa orchids supposedly like cooler temperatures in winter. Having said that, last winter was the first time that I actually moved this orchid out to the greenhouse. So it had a 5-degree minimum temperature over winter. Now, when it was kept at 5 degrees minimum, I had not so much a pool of water down at the bottom as just kept the plant moist so as to avoid bacterial rots, and it did fine. But up until that point, I've always grown this plant in the house, and I've had it for several years now. So I think this particular one, in any case, is quite unfussy as to the cool winter temperature. For me, the Disa flowers every 2nd or 3rd year even. Now, after flowering, what happens is the flower dies and the plant produces lots and lots of offsets in the pot. And these get potted up and divided up, and if they're grown on properly, then hopefully, not the next year, but the year after, you'll get a nice flower. So that's all for the moment, really. That's how the Disa looks at the moment. And we're going to come back in a little while and see what it looks like when the rest of it is in flower. And here I am back again, and this time it's the 27th of June, and as you can see, there have been some interesting developments. This is the Disa I showed you last time, and that is the same flower that was open before, but you'll recall there was a bud on its shoulder. That bud has opened, as you can see. There he is. And the second plant that was in bud, the second unifoam that was in bud, has also opened. Now, this is the first time I've had 2 of this Firebird in flower at the same time. And this second one, you can see, has a smaller flower than the first one. It must be a less mature plant, but it's wonderful to have them. I just find the colour mesmerising. And I thought I'd end this video on Disa orchid, and my Disa orchid Firebird in particular, by showing you how I displayed it in the garden this summer for the open days. And you see I've got a kind of red and black theme going on here with the plants I'm passing and the socks on the trees. And can you see the orchid yet? Yeah, there she is. She kind of beckons a long way down the garden because the colour is so vibrant. And I hope picked up by the socks of the Tetrapaddix Rex behind. Anyway, all for fun. That's what it's all about. She's gotten a bit splattered by rain out here because I've been leaving her out. They're like little teardrops. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and check back for lots more gardening-y stuff. Bye now.